So you're trying to scale your real estate business, but you're not really sure how exactly to do it. I mean, scaling is great because that means your real estate business is growing. However, one of the biggest challenges to scaling your business that you may not know about is that it is a black hole. One of the biggest mistakes I've seen is realtors trying to scale their business, but inevitably working for less money than they're actually making because they executed without any real guidance, or maybe they scaled too soon. Now, I know scaling sounds nice, and being able to work on your business is much more appealing than working in your business. But if you do this wrong, you're gonna burn through your cash reserves, and that is not the goal. Emmanuel here, founder and brand strategist over at Square One Group, and my plan for today's video is to give you 4 really basic tips to help you start scaling your real estate business. So let's go. Now, before I get into the good stuff, you know the deal. Please make sure you click the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon. It appeases the YouTube gods, aka that algorithm, and it really continues to help support our channel, so thank you so much in advance. Oh, scaling. Sounds appealing, but is it really? I mean, the thought of taking yourself out of the day-to-day grind of working in your real estate business sounds just so tantalizing. I mean, being able to start leading a group of agents or maybe a team of individuals to a common vision is one of the most appealing things about being an entrepreneur. And if this sounds like you, then this is definitely a video that you should really start immersing yourself in. That said, Robert Crabtree, in his book Simple Numbers, indicates that scaling to 5 million in revenue is one of the most difficult things to do. Well, in reality, there's actually this weird position from scaling from 2 million to 5 million that he really alludes to being a massive black hole. And that's simply because you're going to encounter this very weird balancing act where you're going to be needing to make enough money to hire new talent, but also not hire fast enough to make sure you don't go through all of your cash on hand. And really, depending on how prepared you are for this part of your journey, the balancing act is either gonna make or break your business. Now, after going through the reps of this myself, my goal for today's video is to provide you with 4 really basic tips on how to scale successfully if you're starting to go down this path of bringing in some new talent to really grow your team. Okay. So tip number 1 is all about learning how to manage your time appropriately. Yeah, I know it sounds like a no-brainer, but it's easily the first and biggest misstep of any realtor that is trying to scale. Not having enough time in the day is not a viable excuse, and that just means that you don't know how to properly manage your time appropriately. And the solution to this is actually really simple. It's just the time block. Time blocking for lead gen, for lead nurture, for fulfillment, or working on those leads, and of course, for staying on top of mind. You should also be blocking enough time in your week for personal development, as well as time with your family and time for doing the things that you truly enjoy. By the way, here is a quick pro tip for you, and that is to plan your week in advance. That means blocking off some time, maybe on a Sunday, and listing out all of the main tasks that you need to accomplish on your calendar so that when the week actually hits, you already have a plan of what to do. Which leads me to tip number 2, which is all about auditing what you do, because simply put, what can be repeated can be delegated. So now that you have a plan of what you're supposed to be executing for the week, the next step is to start logging everything you do during the week. And yes, these are 2 separate things. Planning and logging are 2 completely different exercises. Now, I'm going through this rep myself. What I actually did was I just opened up a spreadsheet. And then on the top, I put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then below each day, I just listed out every single thing I did for that day. And then at the end of the week, what I did and what you're supposed to do is do an audit of everything that you did and highlight all of the repetitive and redundant tasks. You see, one of the first and cheapest things that you do when you're attempting to scale is bring on someone to your team to offload these really repetitive, mundane tasks. And this is also called buying back your time. Which now leads me to tip number 3, which is all about creating instructions. This idea is sound, and the idea is that you need to create standard operating procedures for each of the tasks you've identified. List out what part of the business this SOP affects, What is the objective? What are the instructions for each step of this process? Who's taking ownership of this process? What is the definition of done for this process? And how do you measure its results? By the way, I created a pretty cool framework that you can follow to really build out your SOPs. It's linked in this video up here, so go ahead and click on it and check it out. Now, once this is completed, then and only then should you start considering hiring some fresh new faces to grow your team, which leads me to tip number 4, and that is to hire slow and fire quick. Take your time, hire the right person. Warren Buffett, when hiring people, uses the methodology of the 3 I's, which stand for intelligence, initiative, and integrity. Look, hiring the wrong candidate will only affect you negatively in the long run. So take your time and do it right the first time, because it takes time to train and onboard new team members. And really, this is an investment of time, of your time in and of itself. And if you end up doing this over and over again because you keep hiring the wrong person, you're going to end up wasting a lot of your time, which eventually equates to money. By the way, here's another quick pro tip for you. A bad hire does not turn into a good team member over time. Let me repeat that again. A bad hire does not turn into a good team member over time. And this is just simple human nature. And you can pick up a bad hire fairly quickly. You see, in order for your business to expand exponentially, you need to be able to trust your team. And if you can't trust the team member to execute appropriately, then it's a clear indication of a weak link in that chain. And it will cost you more in the long run to try to make this weak link stronger. And in most cases, they usually end up staying the same, at least in my experience. So once you identify this weak link, get rid of this person ASAP. Now, scaling your real estate business is difficult, but it's one of the things that we're actually exceptionally good at. We actually have a system for it. And if you're interested in learning a little bit more about how we do it, then I highly recommend click the link below, schedule a strategy session with either myself or someone on my team, and we will be happy to see if we can help you out. But if you're not ready to scale yet, then I highly recommend you check out and join our free Facebook group where we talk all things systems, digital marketing, websites, leaving that in the description below as well. And if you just want to learn a little bit more about scaling, then I highly recommend that you check out this video right here where I break down 5 elements to working on your business. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.